Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are unpacking a seriously fascinating narrative case study. It's a pretty stark look at toxic workplace power dynamics and, well, the dangerous allure of a forbidden romance. We're going to explore exactly how fast things can unravel when professional boundaries get crossed. Because as you'll see, the thrill of a secret can completely blind us to just how vulnerable we really are when power asymmetry is in play. Okay, let's dive into this. Kaitlyn, no one can ever know about us. Those are the words of Drake, a company CEO, spoken directly to his 25-year-old assistant, Kaitlyn. Right from the jump, we are dealing with some intense manipulation here. I mean, this single sentence instantly sets the insanely high stakes of the secret they're about to keep. It's basically a demand masquerading as an intimate plea, and honestly, it serves as the absolute foundation for the entire disaster we're about to unpack. Which brings us to Section 1, an unexpected office romance. Now, the pacing of this relationship, it is staggering. So Kaitlyn, our 25-year-old assistant, is just unwinding at a small cafe after a really exhausting week. Suddenly, her CEO, Drake, unexpectedly walks in. They talk, they dance, and eventually they share a kiss. And almost immediately, things just escalate. By the very next day, during working hours, mind you, Kaitlyn gets a message for a 2 p.m. hotel meetup. She literally drops everything, leaves the office, and goes straight there. Before she even knows what hit her, they are fully immersed in the secret affair. They're even going out at night in actual disguises to avoid being spotted by coworkers. It goes from a chance encounter to a highly orchestrated secret incredibly fast. As you can probably guess, this created a really bizarre duality in Kaitlyn's life. During the day, she was the quiet, professional assistant, sitting obediently at her desk, acting perfectly normal. But by night, she was the CEO's secret lover, navigating the city in disguise. And when I say disguise, I mean extreme measures. Drake actually brought her a bright red wig and big glasses to wear, while he threw on a hat and a fake beard. They were basically playing a giant game of dress-up, hiding in plain sight and going to the exact same places their coworkers frequented. Moving right along to Section 2, the thrill of the secret. Psychology actually shows us that secrecy can seriously heighten attraction. And for a brief moment, this deception was deeply thrilling for them. The office felt entirely new, and performing this high-wire act of pretending to just be a normal boss and assistant, it was exciting. But here's the absolute most critical number in this entire dynamic: 0. That is exactly how many people could know. Why? Because Drake made it abundantly clear that his job and his reputation were incredibly important to him. Notice what's missing there? Yeah, he isn't worried about her job at all. He's strictly securing her silence to protect his own empire, which, frankly, reveals his true priorities very early on. And that leads us to Section 3, a dangerous close call. Look, every secret has an expiration date, right? Well, one night, while they're out in their ridiculous disguises feeling totally untouchable, a coworker named Maya walks into the exact same venue. And she isn't just passing by. She walks right up to their table and says just one single word: Kaitlyn. Imagine the absolute heart-stopping terror of that moment. You're sitting there in a red wig, your CEO is wearing a fake beard, and your coworker is standing right in front of you looking super confused. Kaitlyn just completely freezes, while Drake grabs her hand, suddenly realizing the massive professional danger they are in. Terrified, Kaitlyn turns her head away and attempts this desperate deflection, basically telling Maya she's mistaken. And miraculously, Maya just laughs and says, "I am sorry, you look exactly like a friend of mine," and she actually walks away. On the surface, huge sigh of relief. They dodged a massive bullet. But make no mistake, the fragile illusion of safety they had built was totally shattered in that single interaction. The shift in Drake's behavior after this is absolutely drastic. Before the close call, he was attentive, thrill-seeking, making Kaitlyn feel so alive. But immediately after, it's a complete 180. He becomes incredibly cold and distant. His fear instantly overwrites his affection. He stops calling her at work. He hardly even looks at her. He completely freezes her out, reverting to treating her strictly as a subordinate. This obviously leaves Kaitlyn feeling incredibly anxious and completely confused by the sudden professional deep freeze. And then the inevitable crash happens. Drake summons Kaitlyn to his office looking totally serious and delivers a really harsh reality check. He says, "If the office learns about us, I will lose everything. It is over now." He tells her the risk is simply too big. When Kaitlyn pleads with him, suggesting they just meet further away, he shuts her down completely. He selfishly and entirely unilaterally chooses his professional life over her feelings without even a second thought. And when she goes home and sends him desperate messages, he ignores every single one of them. Just brutal. This brings us to Section 4, Betrayal and Consequences. The aftermath for Kaitlyn is just painful, especially after seeing Drake quickly move on. Literally just a month later, she spots him in the lobby looking super happy with a beautiful new hire named Clara, someone Drake actually brought on himself. The grief and isolation finally become way too much to bear, and it triggers a rapid chain of events. Step 1. She reaches her breaking point and desperately confesses everything to her coworker Maya, just needing a confidant. Step 2. Despite promising to keep it safe, Maya breaks that promise immediately, and by morning, the whole office is staring. Step 3. The devastating final blow. The manager walks right up to Kaitlyn's desk and fires her on the spot for breaking company rules with the CEO. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer injustice of the power imbalance. It is staggering. Think about it. Drake broke the rules, he initiated the relationship as the CEO, yet he gets to keep his job, keep his reputation, and even gets a new girlfriend. Meanwhile, Kaitlyn, the subordinate, loses her job, loses her partner, and is left completely isolated. And you want to know the absolute kicker? When Kaitlyn was packing up her desk to leave, Drake just watched her go. He stood by entirely silently and said nothing. The reality of workplace power asymmetry literally couldn't be more horrifyingly clear here. Which brings us to our final section, the cost of secret love. After days of deep grief, Kaitlyn really leans into her own resilience. She realizes, she can't just stay sad forever. She eventually pulls herself together and finds a great new job at a design studio with a wonderfully supportive boss. But her experience leaves us with a few absolutely crucial lessons. First off, Drake didn't love her. He loved the thrill of hiding. When the secret ended, he ended her too. Second, secret love is not true love. It's an illusion built entirely on deception and weird power dynamics. And third, you deserve to be loved openly, not hidden away in the dark. Sadly, Kaitlyn had to lose everything to really recognize her own self-worth. So this leaves us with one final, very important thought. If someone wants to keep you a secret, do they really value you at all? It's an incredibly powerful question about respect and visibility, whether you're in or out of the office. It really forces us to examine the true nature of power dynamics in all our relationships. Well, thank you so much for walking through this explainer with me today. I really hope it gave you some valuable insights into the real cost of these hidden dynamics. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.